time to start the morning off just right. Ended up having to work an extra day out of the week. That was not anticipated, but you know how it works. Duty calls. But, on the bright side, now I'm going to have bagels. Instant bagels! And this right here is why I thoroughly enjoy working grave shift compared to day shift. Especially in the world that we're facing right now. You know, it's so chaotic and you never seem to be able to get a break. Yet, the peace and serenity of just driving back home in the morning, it's nothing will ever beat it. So really quickly, I ended up just driving past my alma mater, my high school, and it got me thinking about what inspired me back then compared to what inspires me now. And brings back so many good memories, but also so many terrifying memories of knowing how much my brain used to dabble and wander back then. But you know, back in high school, that's where it all first started. That's where my venture, my first attempt at a YouTube channel was born. And it kind of got me thinking about how things are right now, with how difficult it is for me to hammer out videos around my work schedule. And it kind of makes me laugh, because it's like, okay, I had the same schedule, but more time back then because I had less to do. And that kind of that kind of brings things to a perspective here lately of how much time we lose track of just in a few short years. Kind of weird. Alrighty, well, here we are. Let's go get some big league goodness. But gotta put that mask on first. I'm missing a fucking aux cord. Yes, Dragon. I'm missing an aux cord. Come here. Come here. I think Dragon's upset too. Because he knows until I get that other cable set up, he can't sit in my lap while I game. I also need to get actual light stands. Because I'm tired of that happening. The tripod connection just gave way. And the light fell. I don't know if it's broken. Yeah, it's not broken. Okay. But light stands would probably work. Anywho, so shortly after I got done eating, I got thinking about what we were talking about on the way home, which was creating the YouTube channel, everything that has to go into it, like lighting, frame rates, crap that lives underneath your desk for, if you do this kind of work, because you don't want to have to constantly switch back and forth between headsets. In fact, I just wanted to be able to set it up to a fucking button and be good. But apparently, that's not going to work right now because I'm missing an aux cable. So, Target's still open. I'm going to go run Target and find me a cheap aux cable. Sweet. Alrighty, as you guys can see, I actually got it set up. Whee! I can't believe I actually got that set up and I ran it at Target just in time. But hey, it worked. But I was mentioning earlier, I kind of had a thought earlier when apparently I passed out shortly after breakfast. But during eating breakfast, I was reviewing some of the footage and everything else, and it got me thinking. When you look back at the footage where it was looking at the dash of the car, flickering, yet that's at 1/60, that's 60 frames per second. Got me thinking about how quickly the human eye moves, that nothing here, no external light, flickers. That's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. But anywho, just a little tidbit right there. This leads me up to where I was sitting at earlier, and I was trying to think of what inspired me to do where I'm doing at right now. What inspired me to keep moving forward, keep designing tattoos, keep pursuing to find the business without actually running a business that's fully there. But, however, with that mentioned, it's kind of a really, really deep thought and makes you question a lot, because when it comes down to running a basic business, when it comes down to trying to get something off the ground, all it takes is persistence. Just like a YouTube channel, a business takes persistence. And something that I've had some issue with is certain factoring with designing tattoos, especially in the world that we live in today. Everyone wants tattoos. However, no one's really willing to pay for something custom that actually means something to them. They hop over to Instagram, Pinterest, or something like that, and they find something that they really like, but has no meaning to it. They can tell a meaning to it. They can make a meaning. I just realized I still have my mask on. Much better. But anywho, as I was saying, no one really appreciates tattoos anymore. They appreciate the art, but they don't actually appreciate the idea, the depth of the meaning. Like my 2 crossing swords, well, 3 technically speaking, those have a lot of meaning to me because it is the story of Excalibur right here and Witcher, which you have to go through a lot of process in order to become a Witcher, but also the story of King Arthur impacted me a lot as a child, and a whole bunch of other stuff, but we're not going to get into that right now. But, as I was saying, with that in mind, there's a lot that needs to be brought into question. Why do people want a tattoo? What's the baseline meaning behind the tattoo that they're wanting, the tattoo that they're trying to go for? And when you're trying to set this up, when you're trying to make this into a business, when you're trying to make sure that this is actually something you want to go through, it takes a lot of pushing forward and making sure that you actually want this. However, how do you make sure that they actually want it? And that brings us to the topic of today. How can you actually tell a client is interested in your work? How can you tell whether they're actually going to be a full-blown client or, oh yeah, I'm just interested, I like your work, but I'm not fully sold on it. And it's really, really hard to tell this, especially in today's market, because, I'm sorry to say, a lot of the world's fake nowadays. So in order to get the base outline, and I just realized that I really need to trim out my mustache. Wow. In today's market, in order to get that stuff figured out, you need to come down to the base brass tacks of questioning. So whenever I sit down with a client, I ask them 3 basic questions. What does the tattoo mean? How much are you willing to actually invest in this? And how long have you wanted this piece? Because if they've just wanted it from yesterday, or they found the idea and they want it today, and they're just trying to expand upon it, they're not going to be worth it. They're not actually there for the piece itself. They're not there for your work. They just want something pretty. Now, if they turn to me and be like, hey, yeah, no, I've had this idea for years. I've had something, I've gone to people, I've tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. Or, one of my most recent clients, which is actually my boss, came to me and he knew my work, he's seen my work, he's seen me do pieces that are out of this world. Yeah, I hated them, but he loved them to death because of how brilliant in his mind they were. In my mind, I think they're absolutely no shit, but that's because I'm the artist. I hate my own work. But anywho, his wife wanted a piece, and she wanted a piece that represented her. I haven't met that woman. I've yet to meet her. I'm actually really looking forward to meeting her, but I haven't actually met her yet. But when I got on the phone with her and knowing the little bit of details that my boss has told me about her, I knew her as a whole. She was elegant, she was detailed, she was heavily into her religion, and very spiritual towards that aspect. So I was like, you know what? X, Y, and Z, and she fell in love with the idea. I drew up a very base design, he sent it to her, and she was blown out of the water. Within that minute, I got the sale. I got that feed. I got the contract. So then I actually sat down, wrote up the contract, started going through the basics, started getting everything taken care of. When you have that niche, when you can tell this person's actually into it, and you can read into them, you can sell the piece faster than you would just being able to basically bullshit. If you really want to make the sale, if you really want to make them interested, sell it. Don't sell the piece, sell yourself. Pull yourself into their work. Pull themselves into their world that you're trying to encapsulate within that one piece. I mean, that one piece could make the difference in your entire career. So put that into perspective and definitely sit down and question everything when you're finally starting to do this. What kind of style do you want to work with? What kind of variety do you want to work with? Do you want it to be basic, moderate, old-fashioned, new school, hyper-realistic? What do you want? And once you figure that out, practice. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Once you get really good, people are going to tell you, I envy you. But here's what you really need to understand. Tell them flat out, you don't want to envy me. Every moment that you're out on the town having fun with your friends, I'm right here drawing, photo editing, or whatever you do in order to make your pieces. And let them know, unless they put in the same pursuit in order to do what you do, they will never be able to meet the same ground. But anywho, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like this episode, please like and comment down below. If you really like this episode, please subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell down right there. And be prepared for more episodes like this. And just one quick little tidbit. Saturdays is no longer going to be Doom Eternal for right now. We're running into technical difficulties. I need to upgrade computer monitors. Anywho, I will catch all of you in the next episode.